There's a secret known only to those who no longer want to wait for life to change, but are ready to change it themselves starting tonight. Not tomorrow morning, not next Monday, tonight. Because every single night, right before you sleep, you are standing at the gate of your future. And that gate doesn't open with hard work or struggle. It opens with imagination, pure, bold, fearless imagination. You see, when your head hits the pillow and your body begins to relax, the most powerful part of your mind awakens. The outer world fades, the distractions dissolve, and you are left with the one thing that truly shapes your reality, your inner world. Most people lie in bed reliving their worries, rehearsing their failures, doubting their potential, and then they wonder why tomorrow feels just like yesterday. But you are going to do something different, something life-altering, something so simple it feels like magic because it is. Tonight you're going to assume the feeling of your desire already fulfilled, not beg for it, not hope for it. You're going to embody it, feel what it feels like to already have what you want, to already be who you've always dreamed of being, not as a wish, but as a fact. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what the dogwoods. So give it something worth believing in. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and see yourself walking in the life you want. Feel the emotions of success running through your veins. Let your heart beat to the rhythm of confidence, love, and certainty. Whether it's wealth, peace, healing, or love, see it. Live it. Own it. Let that feeling wrap around you like a blanket. Let it sink into your bones. Let it become your truth. And then fall asleep in that state. Why? Because the state you fall asleep in is the state your mind begins to create. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are when your eyes close. That's the secret. This is the work no one sees but everyone feels. This is the quiet power that rearranges your world from the inside out. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to prove anything. Life will show it for you. People will start treating you differently. Opportunities will start finding you. Ideas will rush toward you. But only after you claim them in your mind night after night without apology. You've tried fighting the world. You've tried waiting on luck. Now try aligning with the truth that's already within you. You were never meant to chase. You were meant to assume, to feel, to rest in the knowing that everything you desire is already yours in consciousness. Let this become your nightly ritual, not a routine, a rebirth, not a habit, a homecoming. Each night you do this, you'll notice a shift, not loud at first, but deep. Life starts bending in your favor, not because it suddenly changed, but because you did. You met your future before it arrived. And now it has no choice but to obey. So do this nightly. Close your eyes. Enter your dream. Feel it real. And let sleep carry it into form. Everything will change. Because you changed first. Every night before sleep, you stand at a silent crossroads. In that quiet space between waking and rest, your thoughts slow down, your body softens, and the door to the deepest part of your mind swings open. This moment isn't ordinary, it's sacred. It's when your conscious mind steps aside and your subconscious, the true architect of your life, listens most attentively. Whatever you impress upon it now becomes the seed that will grow into tomorrow's experiences. Most people miss this moment. They carry their stress, fears, and failures into sleep, unknowingly planting weeds in their mental garden. But you can do something different. You can use this space to create, to imagine, to align. You can step into your desires mentally and fall asleep not with doubt, but with faith, not with struggle, but with calm certainty. Night by night, this practice doesn't just change your mornings, it changes your destiny. Within you is a tool so powerful, so transformative, yet so misunderstood, your imagination. This isn't about fantasy or escapism. This is about creation. Every object you see, every invention, every building, every solution was first a thought held and believed in before it became visible. That's how life works. And your imagination is no different. When you lay down to rest, the distractions fade, and you are finally free to imagine without interruption. This is when you must use that tool deliberately. Don't waste your mental energy on what's wrong. Focus on what you choose to create. Build scenes in your mind that feel like home. See yourself thriving, succeeding, living in peace and abundance. Feel it as if it's already happening. The more real it feels, the faster your outer world aligns. Night is not the end of your day. It's the beginning of the life you're creating. Your final thoughts before sleep are not just idle mental chatter, they are instructions. Your mind doesn't sleep when your body does. It continues to absorb, to reflect, to rearrange. So when you fall asleep worrying, doubting, fearing, you are telling your mind, this is what I want more of. But when you fall asleep confident, fulfilled, imagining your goals already accomplished, you're telling your mind, this is my reality now. And it listens, it obeys. The feeling you carry into sleep becomes the emotional climate of your tomorrow. And repetition of that feeling becomes identity. You don't need hours of meditation, just a few sacred moments before sleep where you choose faith over fear, vision over memory, the future over the past. Let that final feeling before sleep be one of gratitude, victory, and peace. Let it work while you rest. Every single night you rehearse something, whether consciously or not. You fall asleep in a certain emotional state. That state becomes your set point. It's what your mind recreates again and again. Most people rehearse stress, rehearse pain, rehearse failure, and then they wake up in the same light they fell asleep to. But you can change the rehearsal. You can close your eyes and step into the movie of your choosing. One where you're not chasing success, but living it. One where you're not waiting to be loved, but already deeply connected. Rehearse what you want to experience and feel it with your whole being. Imagine the sights, the sounds, the emotions of your fulfilled life. As you drift to sleep, become the version of you who has already arrived, because that version creates new outcomes. And the more you sleep in that identity, the more the world begins to reflect it. You are not defined by your current circumstances. You are defined by the version of you that lives in your mind, especially the one you inhabit when you are most relaxed, most open, most real. That version, if imagined with faith and emotion, becomes your new standard. When you practice the feeling of already having what you desire, you teach your nervous system that it's safe to receive it. You create new patterns of belief and behavior that the world mirrors back to you. This isn't pretend. This is spiritual alignment. Every night is a new chance to embody the future you choose. Not by force, but by feeling. Let your emotions carry you into the scene of your dreams. Let your body believe you're already there. Because once the inner world shifts, the outer world follows. What you accept as true inside becomes undeniable on the outside. The mind is like a stage, and your feelings are the lights that determine what takes center focus. What you feel strongest becomes what you experience next. That's why the emotional state you enter sleep with is so crucial. If you feel worry, you wake to more things that trigger it. If you feel abundance, life brings more of it. So tonight, don't just think about your desires, feel them. Walk around your dream life in your mind. Smell the air. Hear the sounds. Feel the textures of your success. Let your feelings be intense and vivid, as if you're already there. That emotional imprint becomes a magnet. Your subconscious starts searching for ways to bring it into your physical world. It begins aligning circumstances, drawing people, opening doors. All because you chose to feel truth before it arrived. That's the power of emotion-led imagination. In the stillness of the night, the world quiets, but your creative power grows louder. When you stop reacting to the noise of the day, you begin responding to the truth of your inner self. This is the moment when transformation begins. You are no longer distracted by tasks, timelines, or opinions. You are finally able to hear your real desires, and in that silence you must act not with effort, but with vision. Paint your future with the brushstrokes of belief. Speak silently to yourself in the language of completion. Not I want, but I am. Not someday, but now. Let your inner world declare the truth that your outer world has not yet caught up to. That is not delusion. That is design, and sleep becomes the place where that design is impressed, carved and constructed so that when you wake, you are walking into the reality your soul already knew. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more direction in the night. A few focused minutes before you drift into sleep are more powerful than hours of conscious effort when misaligned. Because your subconscious is the builder and it builds from the blueprint you hand it when your mind is quiet. That's why one clear, emotionally charged chime can uproot years of doubt. See yourself thriving. Feel yourself winning. Taste the victory. Breathe the peace. Let it become so real in your inner world that it spills into the outer one. The world will always reflect the clarity or chaos you cultivate inside. So don't waste another night leaving your future to chance. Use the power of directed imagination. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. Your destiny deserves design. And tonight is your opportunity to begin again. People talk about manifesting from faith, but few actually feel what they desire before it shows up. That's where the power lies, in feeling it real. When you stop wishing and start embodying, everything changes. It's not about tricking your mind, it's about teaching your soul to recognize what belongs to you. When you imagine with feeling, you stop being separate from your desires. You become one with them. And when you fall asleep in that unity, your subconscious begins to rebuild your world accordingly. You start to think differently, speak differently, move differently, because you're not trying to become, you already are. Sleep in the knowing that what you once chased is now yours. Feel it as done, and let the universe catch up to your belief. This is how you collapse time. This is how you create from wholeness, not hunger. Your mind is like fertile soil, and your thoughts are the seeds. But it's not just the seeds that matter, it's the emotion you water them with. When you fall asleep while imagining your desires, you must do more than visualize. You must believe, not with force, but with softness. Let the vision take root in your nervous system. Let your heart accept it without resistance. The more you relax into the reality of your dreams, the faster they move toward you. Let it be simple. Let it be joyful. Let it be consistent. Each night you do this, you reinforce a new inner world. And eventually that world spills outward. People notice your energy shift. Circumstances bend in your favor. Doors unlock. But it all begins with your nightly surrender to imagination and belief. Quiet, clear, certain. That's how real change begins, one night at a time. True change doesn't begin when the sun rises, it begins when your eyes close. When the world turns off and you're left alone with your thoughts. That's when you make the real decisions that shape your life. It's not about what you did all day. It's about what you become in the quiet. In that space before sleep, you either rewire your identity or reinforce your limits. Most people unconsciously replay their failures and fears. But you have the choice to rewrite the story, to shift from asking life to happen for you, to commanding it from within. Let your last thoughts be of the life you choose to live, not as a fantasy, but as a declaration. See it, feel it, own it. You are not preparing for the future, you are becoming it. Sleep in the certainty that you are already the person you've been seeking. When you rise, the world will rise to meet the new version of you. Your imagination is not idle play, it is sacred instruction. It tells the subconscious what to prepare for. Every scene you play, every outcome you feel, every future you live in your mind becomes a signal, not just to your body, but to the invisible forces that organize your life. When you imagine clearly and consistently, your reality starts to echo that clarity. You'll meet people aligned with your vision. You'll attract situations that match your frequency, not by accident, but by design. But the most potent time to give this instruction is when your mind is soft right before sleep. That's when imagination becomes construction. So imagine well. Imagine with joy. Imagine without doubt. Let your inner world become more vivid than your past. Speak your truth in images, not complaints. And let your sleep carry your vision into the fabric of the world. Reality bends to the clearest image you hold. What you feel before sleep doesn't just stay in your dreams, it gets woven into your days. That emotion, that assumption becomes your compass. You'll start noticing things that support what you believed last night. You'll act in ways that align with that emotional blueprint. So be intentional with your inner energy. Feel success as if it already happened. Feel love like it's already beside you. Feel wealth as natural, not distant. When you condition your feelings at night, you condition your responses during the day. It's no longer a struggle to act boldly. You're already living from the truth you imagined. Emotions are the glue that binds thought to form. So don't just think, feel. Let your emotional state match the outcome you desire. As you do, life will begin to organize itself around that signal. From the inside out, you become magnetic to your own destiny. Transformation doesn't begin in the outer hustle. It begins in the silence of the inner self. Every night, as the noise of the world fades, you return to yourself. And in that return, you have a choice: rehearse the same past or write a new future. When you stop reliving pain and start reliving purpose, your mind listens. It absorbs the intention. It gets to work behind the scenes. This isn't about effort. It's about alignment. When you close your eyes and see yourself successful, loved, abundant, you're not pretending. You're previewing. You're imprinting that vision onto the canvas of your life. Let that be your nightly ritual, not reaction, but creation, not escape, but embodiment. Let your dreams guide your becoming. Let your sleep be sacred ground where new realities take root. When you wake, you'll feel it. When you persist, you'll live it. Creation doesn't ask for logic. It asks for faith. Faith in the unseen. Faith in the feeling. Faith in the image held in your heart. When you fall asleep believing in what your senses can't yet prove, you awaken the creative power within. Not as a dreamer, but as a director. The world bends not to effort alone, but to inner certainty. When you rest in the feeling of it is done, the external begins to reflect the truth. This is not wishful thinking. This is the language of the subconscious. It doesn't respond to struggle, it responds to belief. So let your final thoughts be filled with certainty, not begging for change, but declaring it. Not reaching for the future, but resting in it. Fall asleep as if it's already real. That's the secret. That's the shift. You won't have to chase when you've already claimed it from within. Your nightly imagination is the rehearsal of your becoming. It's the inner dress rehearsal for the life you're stepping into. You don't get what you want, you get what you prepare for. And preparation starts in the mind, not in the world. Each night, picture yourself as the version of you who already has it. Not someday. Now. Speak like them. Think like them. Feel like them. As your head rests on the pillow, let your inner story shift. No longer a seeker, but a receiver. No longer hoping, but knowing. When you wake up, that identity begins to walk with you. You respond differently. You carry a new energy. The world adjusts to match it. All because you spent your nights becoming. Don't waste another evening doubting. Use it to become, again and again, until your outer world looks like your inner one. In the moment before you drift to sleep, your mind is open, unguarded. That's when transformation walks in quietly. You don't need to shout affirmations. You just need to feel them. Feel the truth of the life you're choosing. Feel the gratitude of already receiving it. When you saturate your mind with feeling, belief takes root. The deeper the feeling, the faster the shift. Don't just see yourself there, be there. Let your senses be involved. Taste the success. Hear the applause. Feel the love. This is more than visualization, it's embodiment. And when done nightly, it becomes your new baseline. Not something you do, but something you are. This is how you recalibrate. This is how you reprogram. This is how you become. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a powerful state. A state that tells your mind, this is who I am now. And the easiest time to enter that state is just before sleep. That's when the conscious resistance fades and the deeper self takes control. Fall asleep in the state of success, not striving. Fall asleep in the state of having, not hoping. Because the state you sleep in sets the tone for how you think, feel, and act tomorrow. And repeated states create new identities. You don't rise by doing more, you rise by becoming more. Becoming happens inside first. So tonight, choose your state. Let it be bold. Let it be abundant. Let it be grounded in certainty. Sleep like someone who's already arrived. Because once your inner state is consistent, the outer results will have no choice but to follow.